Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Hey guys, we're your hosts, M and J, and today we wanted to give our thoughts on a new product that Adobe is releasing called Comic Blast, a program that's supposed to help in the comic book creation process. We're actually interested in making a comic book of our own, so we were doing our research and came across this product. In the overview of Comic Blast, it says that the process to make comic books is pretty time consuming and complicated, and there is truth in that statement, because usually when working on a project you have to run it through multiple programs before you can have a finished product, like one program for the art and another for the lettering. So basically Comic Blast is trying to streamline that process, and it would be really convenient to be able to finish a project in one program. Unfortunately, we aren't really impressed with what they presented here. Adobe shows that you can take a completed script, put it in the software, and it'll automatically generate comic panels and word bubbles. But this already seems like an issue. This makes it seem like the comic is encouraging the art to come after the lettering, but in my opinion it would make more sense to do the art first and then have the lettering around it. The first panel of the sample script describes a villain ready to destroy a city, so I assume this panel would have artwork depicting a city with a villain standing menacingly. But the generated caption boxes are taking up a lot of room, so you're probably gonna have to move the caption boxes around to make room for the art. They say in the video that making comics just became 100 times faster, but I'm not convinced. In another panel we see word bubbles that indicate that characters are speaking. And generally the tails of word bubbles would point to a character's face, but most of the generated word bubbles have tails pointing to the edges of the panel, so where are the characters' heads going to go? Usually that would mean a character is speaking from off panel, but it looks like the characters are supposed to be in the panel, although I don't see how these two characters are supposed to be so close together that they can both be speaking in this panel. Which is another thing, these word bubbles are really big, they're basically taking up the whole panel, so it looks like they would need to be resized, so you might as well just skip this and make them yourself. I actually don't care for small word bubbles because I don't want to have to squint while I'm reading a comic, but this is the opposite problem. The word bubbles are taking up too much room in the panel. The video goes on to explain how you can import art into the program, but here there's already the base sketch including all the panels and word bubbles, which kind of seems like it defeats the purpose of being able to auto-generate those things. You probably can drop art into the auto-generated panels, but it seems like you would have to do it yourself in order to be accurate, the way they show here. It also has a feature that lets it generate line art by basically making the original sketch darker, but I'm not sure that's the best way to do line art. None of this really feels or looks professional, even though that word keeps being repeated in the advertisement. Adobe doesn't show the comic being colored. You'd think they would have talked about the coloring process with this new program, since coloring is an important part of comic making, but they mostly skip talking about the coloring stage, which is a little strange since they're Adobe and they're known so much for Photoshop. But I guess this is supposed to be the final product, and honestly these colors look really muddled. Not to mention there's basically no backgrounds at all in this comic. They go on to talk about some other features that this program has, although I'm not sure how necessary they actually are for making comics. You can morph the faces of the characters in the comic to match your face, so self-inserts have never been easier, if that's your thing. You can have branching storylines for choose your own adventure types of comics, so readers can make choices that'll take them down different paths, which could be kinda cool. And you can also add animations to your panels, which also could be cool, but I feel like these things are a little less fundamental when it comes to making comics. Like you'd probably want to get the line art, coloring, lettering right before you start adding things like animation. But I do think some of these features are kinda cool. I just wish they had sold us on the more core features of making comics. In the end, it looks like this product misses the mark. Some of its features look interesting, but I highly doubt anyone would agree that these are professional looking comics, and I would expect more from the company that put out Photoshop, which is used by a lot of professionals. And it seems like this video didn't go over well. Adobe later put out a statement saying that there was a misunderstanding and this product was actually for children, which is not at all how it was advertised, especially considering the fact that they use the word professional a lot. Plus Adobe charges a subscription fee for their software, which can really add up, so it's kinda weird for them to say this is just a product for kids. And it doesn't really seem like they're interested in fixing these issues, but it is still in the experimental phase, so maybe later down the line this could be a convenient option for comic creators. We'll just have to wait and see, but that was our opinion. What do you guys think? Do you think this could be a useful tool for comic creators, or do you think it missed the mark entirely? We'd love to hear from you. Before we go, we'd like to shout out our members: Caleb Nelson, Stutania, Tyrant Carnivore, Adam K, Shiny Orc Boy, Taylor Ramirez, The Rabbit Mancer, Dash Sound, Haley Kosheva, Ray Thulu, Hunter Rose, Miranda Sinistra, General Bolivar, and Depth Charge Media. Thank you so much for your support. If you'd like to become a member, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. You can also support us by buying us a coffee. The link will be in the description. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. And we'll see you all in the next video. Bye everyone. Bye guys.